Hello, hello. I fully realize that not every single adult wants to be in a long term relationship, but many of them do. And you can see this if you look at the number of people who are on dating apps looking for someone. Now, the trick, of course, is to find the right person. And once you've found somebody whom you think is the right person, then the trick is to synchronize intentions and kind of mix the lifestyle so that they can create one life. And when a person is really, really young and they haven't built anything, it's kind of easy. There's a lot of chemistry, a lot of energy, and they kind of jump into whatever because they're young and full of enthusiasm. But the older a person gets, the trickier the process becomes. And I discovered early on in my career that I could help the chronically single enter a fruitful and happy relationship. I mean, it began to happen so often that I became a pastor. People started asking me to marry them because they felt so happy. So, and over the years, I have seen these couples flourish, become happy. 27 years, I've seen people already grow up, have children, children have grown up. So it's been very, very pleasant, very rewarding to see these couples flourish and build wonderful families. How did I discover this? This lady comes to see me and she tells me, nobody asks me out. I have been divorced for 10 years and nobody even asks me for a cup of coffee. Now, this lady was attractive. She was well-to-do. She was, in a very good job where people saw her. She was in public evidence, if you will. It wasn't like she was stashed away at the basement of a building. Nobody ever saw her. It wasn't like that. She met people at work. She met people socially. But according to her, not even a coffee date. And she was craving a relationship in her life. So we worked through her emotions and so forth. And one day, something amazing happens. And I know about what happened because she came back a few days later and told me. Leaving my office, the session was a Saturday at 2 p.m. Never forget it. She leaves my office and goes get gas for her car at a corner gas station close to the office, a few blocks away from the office. And the man pumping gas into his car next to her started making comments about her car. It was a new car, new model, and was really nice, and started asking her questions about the car. Make a long story short, they traded email addresses. This was 1997, and eventually developed a relationship. As of the last time that I saw her, they were very, very happily engaged in a committed relationship and very happy together. Now, what's interesting about this lady is that for 10 years, nobody would even ask her for coffee. And once she healed what she had to heal, that very same day, she met a man at a gas station. Not a very likely place to meet, right? And I'm not suggesting I'm just saying that's what happened in her case. When that happened, I figured something out. I figured maybe I can help other people. And I discovered a passion for helping people get into happy and fruitful relationships. How do we do that? Well, there's a process that I call the inner game. Now, this term, the inner game, comes from Tim Galloway, a man who wrote a book back in the 70s called The Inner Game of Tennis. And it has to do with mental processes that happen inside of the person, as opposed to the so-called outer game, which has to do with the strategy. So, for instance, if I told you, go to XYZ place or dating app and text 10 women this particular message, that's a strategy. That is called outer game. That is something that you can do. But if I told you, close your eyes and forgive your brother, let's say, that is inner game stuff. And you might say to me, I can see how going on a particular dating app and sending a particular message might lend me a partner, but I cannot see how forgiving my brother may lend me a partner. Now, of course, forgiving your brother in this example is completely made up. It's just an example. I'm simply trying to illustrate the difference between outer game and inner game. Inner game has to do with internal processes that belong only to you. What the experience is all about is the inner game of relationships. And this is why people who participate in the experience can be either single, looking for someone, or in a relationship, but they feel alone. What's required in both of those cases is an inner shift, an inner change. And once they accomplish that inner change, that's when things begin to happen in our lives. This is what the experience is all about. We meet periodically in a place close to you, and I'm so looking forward to seeing you flourish. Thank you.